Hello and welcome to Eccentric Tarot, and we are here today because we're going to be reading some cards. Here I believe we are all interconnected and that we all are linked in this universe and we all can relate as a collective. Let's get started. So right now we're just going to ask Holy Spirit, what does the collective, per se, you need to know today, okay? So we do these readings to get guidance from the universe, ancestors, and guidance for within as well, okay? So let's get started. Let's see what card's gonna come out first. Okay, that looks like that one wants to come out. Okay, so looks like that we have the Tower in reverse. So basically the Tower in reverse means that hard times are coming to a close, things are going to get better. There's no unexpected, like anything unexpected that's probably like not in the great light, basically not being able to go through those toxic situations no more, okay? So when we get the Tower in reverse, it's basically like delaying of crisis, okay? Negative disputes, chaotic fallouts are all subsiding, okay? So it's an uphill. So it's an uphill from here as far as dramatic situations, toxic situations, and things of that nature. So what I'm getting from this particular card, like I said, basically tough times being over, basically no more delays as far as things that you were wanting or things that you predicted to happen, as far as like your goals and stuff like that. So we're going to get more into this reading as far as the Tower in reverse. So Holy Spirit, can you clarify the Tower in reverse and basically what's coming next for the collective? Okay, try to get some cards here. Alrighty, so we got 3 cards here. Oh, I'm sorry, 2 cards here that popped out of the deck. So this is the Knight of Swords in reverse, and the second card is the Strength. All right, so basically what the cards are giving me is that you've been through a lot of toxic situations, been through a lot of, you know, fighting with maybe relatives, others, co-workers, things of that nature. You've been basically just trying to fight for your image, fight for your respect, and really to get people to understand who you are as a person instead of them assuming or, you know, getting lied to about you from other people, okay? So that's what the Knight of Swords is giving me in reverse, okay? And it's basically you're avoiding being in a fantasy world. You're avoiding, you know, just avoiding people's perceptions about you and what they want to basically put on you, put on your life. It could mean someone's starting rumors, or it could mean, you know, reckless behavior. It also can indicate a slowdown of restraint, So I believe that this energy in reverse is basically not coming from you. It's coming from other people. Okay. Basically people that have been reckless and impulsive in your energy and are not willing to either compromise and seeing you in a different light, or just basically wanting to slow you down or make you feel incompetent. Okay. So the strength card gives me that you've basically kind of prevailed in all of this. You've did the work to overcome people's impressions about you. The way that people look at you, you overcame that. And it's probably just due to you actually cutting a lot of people off, going within, self-reflecting, and things of that nature. Okay, so yeah, the strength card is a very good card. It represents basically inner strength. You know, you've been quiet or you've been courageous. It represents patience, and it represents compassion. So, you know, the people, places, or things that you've been compassionate about, you're going to get that back in the universe. Because I feel like in certain situations, you know, these people haven't been reciprocated of your good energy. So they're not giving back what you're giving. Okay, they're not giving that good energy, that compassion, that, you know, patience that you've gave to others or to certain situations. You know, it could be person, place, or thing. So you're basically coming out of this, you know what I mean? You are more happier, you feel more lighter, you feel, you know, ecstatic about the future. And that's the energy that you're going to need to keep your momentum going, to keep, you know, your dreams, you know, tunnel vision, keep, you know, in your goals. So yeah, this is giving me some results here. You know what I mean? This is basically giving me like, okay, we know the problem. We've seen the problem. We lived through the problem. Now it's time to solve it. Okay. So we'll clarify the strength and the Knight of Swords in reverse. Thank you, Spirit, for those messages. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for those messages. And for the collective. Okay. So yeah, so we have the Temperance, we have the Five of Wands in reverse, we have the Four of Cups in reverse, and we have the King of Cups in reverse. Okay, a lot going on here. So the Five of Wands in reverse is basically telling me about like hard work, not being paid off, manifestations not coming through, things been going wrong or haven't been, you know, timely right in whatever situation you're going through. And it's a resolution to this, you know what I mean, to your mishaps, to the missed opportunities. There's a resolution that the universe, God, or the Most High, whatever your title is, referencing to source, that your conflicts are passing. Okay, that the way of your thinking is elevating, and that's a good thing, especially when you have goals to reach. Like I said in my last video, that sometimes we carry these burdens inside, you know, and sometimes we don't even realize that we are suppressing these toxic energies that may come from other people, places, or things, and that is affecting our energy as far as us wanting to elevate and get better at things. So once we are able to de-shed some of that, some of those insecurities, some of those, you know, losses that we have experienced in our lives that were detrimental, you know, it's not basically about forgetting it. It's about healing it. You know what I mean? It's about when those triggers come up for you, that you know how to deal with them instead of reacting. Okay. So, the Two the Five of Wands often signals a resolution to past conflicts. You know, you finally came with a solution. That's what I was talking about. A solution to the problems that you have within. Because I'm not really getting any external problems with this reading. I am getting like a more of an internal thing. So something something inside that you feel that's making you feel empty. But I feel like that you are realizing this and you're taking the necessary steps to get rid of some of that energy. Okay, so that's a good thing. You know, we live and we learn, we get better, and we start to master ourselves for other people, and master ourselves for ourselves, so that way, you know, we can pour into other people's cups even when they're not pouring into ours. All right, so that's what the Two of Wands is basically signifying. Okay, so the Four of Cups in reverse, which is this card, Four of Cups in reverse, is basically engaging in action. You know what I mean? You're at your breaking period. You're trying to get out of these cycles that you keep creating for yourself. And sometimes, like I said, it could be subliminal. We fall back into habits, you know, all the time, you know, talking with certain people that we feel like are not worthy enough, or just giving them the benefit of the doubt because they're family or however. But if these people are weighing your energy down, and you go out here and try to, you know, go to work or feed your kids and all of that with, you know, this leftover toxic energy, it just makes everything more difficult. It makes everything more, you know, it just makes everything distressful. So when we oftentimes go through these shifts, it makes us kind of get a clarification of who we really are as people and what we're willing to deal with. So yeah, so I love this Four of Cups for you in reverse. It gives me that you're engaging in action where you come from a period of stagnation and self-absorption. You have a willingness to embrace new opportunities now, and that's good for you. Okay, so the next card would be the King of Cups. So the King of Cups can definitely represent someone that is not a leader, someone that is toxic a little bit. Okay, so it can mean instability or immaturity, moodiness, or manipulation. So I think this King in reverse, person, place, or thing, could be a person, could be a place, could be a thing, could be a job, could be a lover, could be a best friend or ex-best friend. This King of Cups basically is somebody or something that's that is basically toxic, like I said, have unhealthy behavior traits. So this could be a person that was in your life that you finally, you know, took heed to, or it could be a person that is currently in your life that you also take heed to, but not quite out of your life yet. Okay, so a job, you know, this job could be toxic, this job could be stressful, this job could be, you know, unappreciative of your work. This woman or man could be, in the same sense, emotionally manipulative. So yeah, so you're basically dealing with someone or something, or a habit or an addiction that's causing you to basically slow down your momentum, slow down, you know, the goals that you set for yourself, and basically coming into, like, you know, or basically being influenced by certain situations. Okay, so the King of Cups and what Spirit is telling me today is that you need to hold fast, keep going, keep the momentum going. And whatever this toxic energy is that's emotionally manipulating you, you need to let it go ASAP. So the universe, God, Most High, can give you exactly what you desire, your happiness, your peace, your joy, and I think that's the understanding and guidance that a lot of spirit wants to tell the collective, is that if you're not happy, then what is this all for? Okay. If you're not happy in something that you like to do as for work, and you're just getting a paycheck. I mean, of course, we know, you're paying your bills, or we're paying our bills with these checks, and however we're keeping to maintain, we're maintaining our lifestyles. But in the same sense, okay, we can maintain our lifestyles, but when I get home, I'm super exhausted. I can't be with my kids. I can't be with my husband, or the hobbies I enjoy. I'm too exhausted to experience those. Or once I finally, go to work, come home, or somewhere where I really don't want to be, which I'm referring to like a toxic job or something like that. Okay, once I, get to the house, or once I start some other project, I really don't have enough energy, because the job that I'm at is taking all my joy, you know what I mean? Taking all, my charisma, my, things like that. So things like that. And, it could, like I said, a toxic job could weigh down on your health. I mean, even if, you are at a job that you don't like, and, oh, I'm just here for the money. But then what about your health? Either you don't have good health, or you don't, have the time to make sure your body's going in the right direction or being healthy, then the money that you are getting from this job won't have any value if you're not healthy. You didn't spend it all on medical bills, or, stuff like that. Partner, if the girl or man is with you and they're not appreciating you, they're emotionally manipulating you, they're moody, they got you walking on eggshells, and yeah, you love them, yeah, this is something that you are familiar with, but at the same time, this is not bringing you joy. This is not bringing you happiness, Yeah, you want to be around that person because you love them, you want to make them happy, but are they returning that same energy to you? And from the cards and what Spirit's telling me, that they're not. They're not. And you have to come to grips with this for yourself. And that's why people say love yourself, okay? It's something that we all grasp on, but don't quite internally, define it for ourselves. And what does loving yourself look like? Loving yourself looks like, oh, I'm not gonna let anybody, treat me like this. You know what I mean? Standing up for yourself, like you would for your mom or your brother or your sister. Would you let your mom, your brother, your sister, or whoever, you're close to in your family, to get bullied by somebody without sticking up for them? Would you, let somebody, take advantage of your mom, emotionally manipulating her and all of this? No, you wouldn't. You would stand up for that person. So just as well, if you would stand up for anybody else, stand up for yourself. Okay? Don't let anyone treat you as if you're second choice, or trying to manipulate you to feel that you're unvaluable. Everybody has value in this world. I don't care if you didn't go to school or you went to school or however. Like, you have value. And you don't let anyone devalue your, who you are as a person, or devalue what you want in life, your dreams, your aspirations. You don't give that power to anybody. So that's why, people say it's so important for you to love yourself. It's so important for you to love yourself. It is. It really is. Sometimes it's even, between life and death. I mean, it's been a lot of situation with partners where, they get so angry, or they're upset at the world. They come home, take it out on their partner, and then next thing you know, they on the first 48 or on Snapped or something. You know what I mean? So you have to protect yourself. You have to look at this life as a precious gift, and you just don't hand over your power just to anyone. You keep your power, you restore it, you master it, so that way whoever comes into your energy knows that not to play with you. Know that you are a leader. Know that you are this person who you say you are, okay? All right, so that's what the King of Cups in reverse reveals. That type of nature, someone or something trying to manipulate the situation in your energy, okay? And, you know, make you feel a certain type of way that's not cool, or that's not of peace and, you know, abundance, all right? So next we're going to talk about the Temperance card. And the Temperance card basically gives me hand in hand. You give me some, I give you something. You fill my cup, I fill your cup, okay? It can also mean that, excuse my, okay. So it can also symbolize balance, harmony, moderation, alchemy. Basically, putting opposite forces in their place. Basically, people that mistreat you, mishandle you in a manipulation fashion. Those people are no longer going to be a part of your energy very soon, if they're not already out of your life, okay? Because I feel like that you're vibrating so high in your alchemy that these people are not even going to be able to tune in to you. They're not even going to be on your level, you know? And when a lot of times that happens, we like, oh no, I just cut this person off, or oh no, me and this person had a mishap or whatever. But basically, when you do clash with people, when there is a turbulence in certain relationships, that is either you or that person tuning out of each other, okay? Okay, y'all not on the same page, y'all not on the same wavelength. You guys are vibing at two different energy levels. So when you're vibing at two different energy levels, both energies could, you know, they don't understand each other. The frequencies is off. And then that manifests into something else, okay? That either manifests into arguments, that either manifests into toxic situations and things of that nature. So I feel like now that you're vibing so high from these people, that they no longer affect how you feel anymore, okay? Just like vampire movies, okay? I'll just say that for example. We watch a lot of vampire movies. We know we just went out, I can't think of the name, with Michael B. Jordan, which was super awesome. And one of those scenes in that movie, I can't think of the name. I'm always like getting a brain fart every time I try to explain something. But overall, if you remember that movie with Michael B. Jordan in the vampire whole situation, it was when some of the vampires or whatever, after they got changed, they came back to knock on the door, and it was like, oh well, you know who I am, let me in, you know who I am, you know me, you know you can trust me, you know. And the people on the other side are like, wait a minute, you've been out there with the other mother truckers, you've been out there with the people that, you know, are changing into vampires, ain't no way you survive, you know. So that's the thing. That's my example. It's like when these energy vampires come in, it's up to you. It's up to you. Whether it's, like I said, person, place, or thing, it's up to you to let these people in or not. And once you let these people in, they either suck up all your energy. They either trying to, and this is the thing. Even when you are around certain people, even if they do shade you, even if they try to trigger you, you ain't got to let them in. You ain't got to let them emotionally manipulate you to feel a certain type of way. You don't have to do that. Long as you have mastered yourself, went within and know who you are. When somebody tries to portray you as something else, it doesn't bother you. It does not bother you. It does not dilute you until you allow it to. Okay? Just like the movie. Once they allowed that energy in, it ran habit. It took, you know, havoc. I'm sorry. It took, they basically just killed themselves because they let that energy in. Okay. So that's the thing. It gets that toxic. And then you can self-destruct within yourself, you know. There's been multiple people doing the S word because they got bullied at school, or, you know, their husband left them, or they lost their job. If you are not spiritually in tune with yourself, anything can basically take you out, because you need to be more energy aligned, energy intuitive. People can lie all day, but energy never lies, okay? So that's what Spirit's telling you today. Keep this momentum. Keep this spirit of, okay, I'm looking out for myself. Yes, I know we've all been told, give. That's the, you know, Christian way, or that's the, you know, way of whatever religion that you believe in. But at the same time, before you can give, which is a great thing to do because you get that energy back, but you need to do it with the most purest intentions and with not any baggage, you know. And it's another thing that I was just thinking about that came to mind about that song by Erykah Badu, Bag Lady. And it took me a while because the song came out when I think I was like 8 or maybe like a kid, basically. So maybe 9 through 11 or 8 through 11, okay? And I've always loved, you know, soulful things. I've always been like, you know, a soulful, eccentric type of person. So I've always loved that song, but I never grasped the concept until I got older. And basically the concept was like, with all that baggage you packed on to your mother trucking back, who's gonna want you? Nobody ain't gonna want you with all that baggage. Ain't nobody gonna, you know, say for instance, you just got out of a toxic relationship. Ain't nobody gonna want you with all that. You know, until you cleanse yourself of toxicity and learn from those mistakes and be more aware of people, of emotional manipulating people. If you don't do that before you try to extend your hand to someone else, you're gonna just bring that into relationship, job, person, place, or thing, you know. Okay, so that's what the temperance gives me, is that you are alchemizing all the bad situations. You're seeking to find, you know, forces that can help you with these certain type of components that's more of your soul family than a frenemy or someone that is trying to manipulate you emotionally, okay? So we're going to clarify this. We're going to get a couple more cards before this reading closes out. Thank you, Spirit, for these messages. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for these messages. Do you have any last cards you want to give us for this reading? Thank you. So we definitely have to, you know, learn from our mistakes and redefine ourselves, so that way we won't continue making the same choices. All right. Okay, so we got a couple cards here, and let's see where we're going with them. So we have the Page of Cups, and we have the Ace of Cups. Have the Ace of Cups. All right. So the Page of Cups is giving me that you're finally out of this energy, that you're finally not overextending your hand to people. And sometimes when you do this, you don't even have it to do it. But you do it anyway. And God sees you and God loves you for that. But he's just tired of the manipulating games that people, person, place, or thing, you know, is playing in your energy. He don't want nobody playing in your energy, you know. You are a chosen one. You are highly favored. And that pees him off. Just like say for instance, you know, no pun intended, just, you know, a general, you know, example. Say for instance, you had a loved one and they were in an abusive relationship, a toxic relationship. And it doesn't have to, it could be genderless. It could be the woman being abusive with maybe words or being physical, or it could be the man, however. And say for instance, your loved one, you see this and you're just trying to, you know, do what's right for your loved one. You don't want to see your loved one, you know, in a circumstance like that where they're playing themselves and all they have to do is walk away so that toxicity won't, you know, be around them or be affected to them. So you don't want that. You don't want to see nobody that you love suffer. And that's exactly what God is telling you. He don't want to see you suffer. He don't want to see these people get over on you. Everybody ain't the chosen one. Everybody ain't highly favored. People need to understand that. Okay? Because you have some very egotistic people out here that think they're always right, that think they know everything, you know, and they're far from internally even knowing themselves. So, you know, everybody's not a chosen one. Everybody is not good. Everybody is not, you know, rooting for you. And you will want, because most of the people that we think are rooting for us are our loved ones or someone close to us, our friends, you know, our jobs, our anything, you know. We think these people are something that we are supposed to respect and make things right with, but it's not being reciprocated, okay? So that's what the Page of Cups is giving me, is that you're done extending your hand to these ungrateful people, person, place, or things, to this toxic job that you go to. You work hard every day and you don't get any credit. With the person, you do this and you don't, you know, it's not being reciprocated to a chosen one. And that's where things get, you know, confusing. And it makes us, or it makes us be in this confused energy that we can avoid as long as we're aware of it. And a lot of us are aware of it, but we just think, oh, well, this is just the way of the world. Everybody's just, you know, out for themselves. No, that's not the way of the world. The people, the elites, things of that nature wants us all to be against each other, you know, divide and conquer. So when we connect, or there's power in strength, there's power in groups, you know. So yeah, you're done extending. You're done extending to ungrateful people, and that always got their head out and never want to reciprocate that energy. Always trying to get over. So yeah, so I feel like that the Ace of Cups is giving us, it reveals your blockage, your suppressed emotions. You know what I'm saying? Your emotional instability. It's depleting you. These people and places or things is depleting you. It's robbing you of your emotional or spiritual resources. You know? It's not making you happy giving to something that is not being reciprocated. Or sometimes it could be the other way around. You could be this person that is taking advantage of this sweet Page of Cups in reverse. And Spirit's just telling you to stop. Stop. Your karma is coming for you. Stop doing this to these people. Stop taking advantage and manipulating, emotionally manipulating people. That's not the way of God. That's not the way of nature or the world. You know, you're not being authentic enough. Okay? So that's just for that particular collective that is on the other side of this reading. All right? Okay, so we're going to get one last card, and then we're going to close out this reading. Uh-oh. Okay. All right. We'll just get these cards. Okay. So we have the Ten of Swords, the Queen of Cups, the Six of Cups, the Six of Swords, and Judgment. All right. We got a lot going on here. Okay. So, yeah. So, the Ten of Pentacles is basically giving me, in reverse, is that you have lost a lot of money to some backstabbing ass people. Excuse my language. Because sometimes the cards just, they just put it out there, okay? They be like, okay, now you beating around the bush, you're trying to make this stuff sweet, but this is what's going on, okay? And yeah, this is exactly what's going on. I really don't even have to look up nothing to kind of, but I always like to clarify, you know, So that way people know that, everything that I'm saying is on point. I don't want you to think that I'm just pulling stuff out of my behind, okay? But yeah, so I don't really even have to, because usually I just look it up. So I have my laptop here, little lighting, okay, just showing you my setup here, okay. And so before we get into these cards, I do read cards. I am 3 years in with tarot. It took me dang near that long to kind of get each card's meaning, because they mean several meanings. They just don't mean one particular meaning. Sometimes they can mean multiple meanings, okay? And so, yes, sometimes I do, when I am reading, just to clarify, to make sure I'm right on track, and to make sure that the audience feels secure in my readings, and knowing that I know what I'm talking about, okay? So that's that. That's all I really wanted to say. And back to these cards. So these cards are basically telling me that, you've been given to people that's been backstabbing you in the back, okay? And their judgment is here. They no longer can do this to you, because you're spiritually declined, you're intelligent, you're more smarter, you're more faster, you're mastering yourself. You're mastering your internal. And that's a good thing. A lot of people don't know how to do that, okay? And even if they do go on that spiritual journey, it takes a lot, especially if you've been through a lot, okay? Because each moment of embarrassment, each moment of not feeling confident, each moment of someone belittling you or making you feel unworthy, that takes a toll on your emotional instability, okay? And when you start becoming more spiritually inclined and you start looking within, then it's like I have to revisit every single emotional trauma that I've been through to heal. And some people have years of trauma, you know what I mean? Some people really don't have that much trauma. They go within, they, have a couple mommy and daddy issues, or, maybe been emotionally blocked, and that's that, and they're on a spiritual journey. But when you do take the spiritual journey, it's not a walk in the park. A lot of people think, oh yeah, I'm just going to, no, it's not like that. You are going to be in tune with spiritual, okay? Nothing external, nothing outside of you, okay? So when you're only dealing with spirit, your whole mental shifts, okay? It takes the veil off of everything that you knew. And most of the things that you know are lies. Even the people that you've been around, most of them are not truly the people that you think they are. So when you're, peeling these layers of emotional instability and, subliminal or suppressed emotions, that takes a toll. That takes years. That takes mastery. And I feel like you've already been doing this. You know what I'm saying? You've already been mastering yourself, mastering your money, mastering your mind. And people see it. People feel that energy. And then once they feel that energy and then they can't understand it, they try to bring you down to their level so they can, okay? So you have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. So the 10 of Pentacles it signifies financial instability or failure, a collapse, okay? So yeah, you've lost a lot dealing with certain situations. A lot. And to me, it looks like it has to do with people. You giving to people that don't deserve what you're giving, or not reciprocating that energy back to you. And that's not cool. That's not cool. Everything's a give and take, and we all use each other for something, okay? And so yeah, like I was saying, the 6 of Cups upright. Yeah, a lot of people tried to take your innocence. A lot of people have tried to really dilute you as a child too. Okay, but I feel like all of that's clearing out with the Six of Cups. I feel like your joy is returning. I feel like you're gonna reconnect with a lot of people from your past for guidance in your journey. And they're gonna embrace you. They're gonna embrace you with the same enthusiasm that you have for your goals as well. They're gonna make sure you feel some type of fulfillment in your relationships now. So I feel like you're done with those people that take, and God's granting you a soul tribe. Granting you a soul tribe that's not going to put you in the Six of Swords, okay? So this soul tribe, I feel, is going to put you exactly where you need to be. All right. So we're going to the Six of Swords in reverse. So the Six of Swords is saying that you're struggling with this change. Because you're seeing very lack of progress, but it's coming. You know what I mean? With the Judgment here, it's on its way. You know, you're feeling like you're unable to move forward because of this difficult situation, but you have to heal. You have to give like I was saying, you have to give yourself some time to heal. And healing doesn't come overnight. It just takes practice. And like I said, those memories, those traumatic memories that you do have, maybe as a child or even recently, however, they never go away. They never go away, okay? They're always going to be there. They're always going to be, especially if you have a good memory, they're going to be in your memory bank. But it's not about trying to bury them. It's not about trying to suppress something that doesn't make you feel good. You have to feel those emotions, or they're going to be stuck to you, okay? And once you do get triggered, once somebody say something that probably they know personally about you to trigger you, it's not going to have an impact, because you're not going to let them in, okay? Either you're going to stand up for yourself, put it out there like, what do you mean? Why are you saying this? Blase, blase. Or you're going to be quiet and not react to certain situations that don't serve you. So if you had a traumatic experience and someone knows about that traumatic experience and tries to trigger you off of it, but you've healed yourself. Oh, you cried about it. You journaled about it. You talked to your therapist about it. You talked to God, Most High, Source, the universe, whatever that means to you. You've done the work. You know what I mean? So when that person says a trigger word or says something to make you feel inadequate, it's going to brush right off your shoulders. You're not going to feel no type of way. Okay? You're going to be like looking at them like, okay, so 2007, so 2008. Okay, like my life is better. I've learned from that mistake, and I'm able to move forward. And once you move forward, and that person treats you, or person, place, or thing says something, or not say, of course, things, but you know what I'm trying to get. If someone triggers you into any of those aspects, then it's not going to affect you. Just like when I said the vampire, if you let that vampire in, that emotional vampire in, yes, he's going to suck she's going to suck the life out of you. Because you know what? When somebody says something to belittle you, it makes them feel so good. Especially if they're jealous of you or quite don't understand where you're coming from, that makes them feel like they're on top of the world. You know, you have people like that will, hurt your feelings intentionally just to steal your joy. And they're literally taking your joy, because now you feel bad and they feel, confidence. They feel in control. They're in control of your emotions, And so that's what we don't want. We don't want these energy vampires, these narcissists, these manipulators to steal our energy. And that's exactly what they're doing. Okay, that's what they're doing. Okay, we'll get one more final card before we close. And that is the Seven of Cups in reverse. And it's basically I think the Seven of Cups in reverse is basically telling what I just said. Okay, it's indicating deceit, people that want opportunity and are willing to do anything to get it. It also indicates you having revelation of people deceiving you, or something deceiving you. You're starting to change the way you react to certain things. And that's exactly what I was saying. That you are changing. That you are no longer letting people get over on you or manipulate you just because you want a friend or a place to work or a place to stay. You're no longer doing that, okay? It's a turning point for you. You're evaluating your own life. You're evaluating your own strategies, the things that you want for yourself. If you have kids, the things that you want for your kids, you know, or family members, or however, your own business, things that you want for your own business, things that you have tunnel vision about. And I feel that you can succeed. Like I said, if you're on the other side of the tarot, that you are deceiving people for opportunities, that you are trying to strategize against certain people because you feel like, I guess that will please you or somehow. I don't know. I've never been a trickery type of person to trick somebody into doing something, so I don't know the joy people get out of that. I guess to feel smarter, I guess. I don't know. But if you are on that other side, then you need to completely stop. And I feel that Spirit is warning you to stop messing with the chosen. If you're, like I said, on the other side of that tarot reading, just chill, find your niche, find your knack, and continue with your ways, or change your ways, okay? So that's all I have for the reading for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I made sure that I was speaking up and very clear today, so I'm getting better. Thank you. Please like and subscribe if you will. Thank you for taking this spiritual journey with me. I love you all as a collective, and please like and subscribe. Love and light. Thank you.